Such a powerful principle. So practice the rule of five. I mean, we all want to be successful at some point in time. And how do you go about that journey? This is how simple it is. And I'm serious about this. I do 3 a day. So when Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield published the first Chicken Soup for the Soul, they were eager and committed to making it a bestseller. And we were asked 15 best-selling offers as well, from John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are For Venus, Ken Blanchard, the 1 Minute Manager, for their guidance and their advice. They received a ton of valuable information about what to do and how to do it. So next, they then visited the book publishing marketing guru, Dan Pointier, who gave them even more great information on how to do things. Then they bought and read John Kemmerer's 1001 Ways to Market Your Book. After all that, they were overwhelmed with the possibilities. To tell the truth, they became a little crazy in the whole aspect. They didn't really know where to start. Plus, they both had a speaking and seminar business to run as well. And I think a lot of people seem overwhelmed in where to start and what to do. So here's 5 specific things that move you towards your goal. It's nothing fancy, but it's effective. They sought advice from Ron Schlastics, a wonderful teacher who told them, if you would go somewhere every day to a very large tree and take 5 swings at that tree with a sharp axe, eventually, no matter how large that tree is, it would have to come down at some point in time. How very simple and how very true. Out of what was developed, we have called it the rule of 5. This simply means that every day we do 5 specific things that will move us towards our goal of completion. Well, with the goal of getting Chicken Soup for the Soul to the top of the New York Times best-selling list, it meant having 5 radio interviews a day, or sending 5 new copies out to editors who might review the book, or calling 5 network marketing companies to ask them if they would sell the book as a motivational tool to their salespeople, or giving a seminar to at least 5 people and selling the book at the back of the room after it. On some days, they would simply send out 5 free copies to people listed in the celebrity address book, such as Harrison Ford, Barbra Streisand, Paul McCartney, and Steven Spielberg. Simple 5 everyday effective methods. Do you notice how they've just given 5 free copies of their book away? And people will go, I don't want to do that because that's obviously costing me money. But it's sticking to that formula of 5 every single day and the discipline and consistency that got them successful to where they wanted to be. They made phone calls to people who could review their book. They wrote press releases. They called into talk shows, some at 3 a.m. in the morning. They gave away free copies at their talks. They sent them to ministers to use as source of talks for their seminars. They gave Chicken Soup for the Soul talks at churches. They did book signings at bookstores. They made bulk purchases, and people made bulk purchases for their employees when they do it for businesses and military bases as well. We asked our fellow speakers to sell the books at their talks. We asked our seminar companies to put their catalogues everywhere, and we bought a directory of the catalogues and asked all the appropriate ones to carry the book. We visited gift shops and card shops and asked them to carry the book, and even got to gas stations, bakeries, and restaurants to sell the book. It was a lot of effort and a minimum of 5 things every day in, day out for 2 years. But listen, this is what sustained effort can do. Was it worth it? Well, the book eventually sold over 10 million copies in 43 countries worldwide. 5 things a day, consistently disciplined for 2 years, led to 10 million copies sold in 43 countries. That's how simple and effective that method is. Did it happen overnight? No. They didn't make the bestseller list until after a year of the book coming out. But it was a sustained effort of the rule of 5 over the 2 years that led to the success. I mean, 1 action at a time, 1 book at a time, 1 reader at a time, 1 convert at a time. That's all it takes. But slowly over time, each reader told another reader. And eventually, like a slow building chain letter, the word was spread and the book became a huge success. What Time magazine called the publishing phenomenon of the decade. It was less of a publishing phenomenon, but more of a phenomenon of persistent effort. Thousands of individual activities that all added up to one huge success. In Chicken Soup for the Gardener's Soul, Geraldine Edwards describes the day her daughter Caroline took her to Lake Arrowhead to see the wonder of the nature. Fields and fields of daffodils that extended far as the eye can see, from the top of the mountain sloping down for many acres across fields of valleys between the bushes and the trees, following the terrain and the rivers, all the daffodils in radiant bloom all the way throughout, literally a carpet of every hue of the colour of yellow. From the palest ivory to the deepest lemon to the most vivid salmon orange. There appeared to be over 1 million daffodil bulbs planted in this beautiful nature scene, and it literally takes your breath away. As they hiked into the centre of the magical place, they eventually stumbled on a sign that read, "Answers to the questions I know you are asking." The first answer was 1 woman, 2 hands, 2 feet, and a very little brain. The second question, the answer is 1 at a time. The third started in 1958. This is the story of 1 woman had forever changed the world over a 40-year period, 1 bulb at a time. What might you accomplish if you were to do a little bit of 5 things every day for the next 40 years towards the accomplishment of your goal? If you wrote 5 pages a day, that would be 73,000 pages of text, the equivalent of 243 books of over 300 pages each. If you save £5 a day, that would be £73,000, enough for 4 round-the-world trips. If you invested £5 a day with compound interest of only 6% a year, in the end of the 40 years, you've amassed a small fortune of around £305,000. The rule of 5? Pretty powerful little principle, wouldn't you agree?